Oh, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I didn't think it was going to come about.
91-year-old Andrew Nichol, fulfilling a long and dearly held wish to visit the spot where his friend Alfred Wainwright's ashes were scattered more than 30 years ago.
If anything, I think Wainwright lives on through Andrew, because there's very few people who knew Wainwright like Andrew does.
We're just going to give you some help today to get up to the tarn.
Wainwright is so connected with this area. We all feel a part of the history.
Just to even contemplate doing it at 91 is just amazing.
Well done, Andrew. Well done.
It was that personal feeling that I owed it to AW to visit the spot his ashes were scattered.
Andrew, talk about how your relationship with Wainwright began.
My relationship with AW really only began a couple of years or so after I'd come to work at the West Spring Gazette on the newspaper side, when eventually I was asked to move over and have a look at general printing and book publishing, which involved meeting Wainwright. I'd seen Wainwright's work and I was very impressed by it, and I'd heard that it was all done from his own originals, which I found hard to understand. They were so consistent, and the fact that it justified the beginning of the ending of the lines. One thing I hadn't realised, that you won't find a hyphen in any of Wainwright books anywhere. When he did his first line, he based his second line on the first. He counted the number of characters and the number of spaces between the words before he started. He said, sometimes I had to change a word. He says, I didn't like hyphens. Every page was done by Wainwright by hand. And when you think of the number of books he's had published, the number of pages, that is incredible. I felt privileged when I was taken by Harry Firth to be introduced to Wainwright, because I was going to be succeeding Harry Firth as manager of the general printing and book publishing. And when we were going up in Harry's car, and he said, when we get there, I'll introduce you, but don't join in any conversation until after we've dealt with matters in hand and he makes the coffee. Then we'll have a chat, you see. As he put the coffees down, he looked at me and says, do you do much fell walking? And I said, fell walking? No. I said, I've got a big garden, I've got 4 children, school age. And I said, when I did my national service, I was in the infantry and I was in Korea. I did enough fell walking to last me a lifetime, thank you very much.
How did Wainwright take that response?
There was no response, no reply whatsoever. When I actually succeeded Harry Firth as general printing and book publishing manager, there was a need to replace a contract that had been lost. We had 40-odd staff in general printing and book publishing, and there would have to be quite a lot of redundancies. To me, the answer lay in expanding the Wainwright side of things, having them on sale throughout the country. When I managed to persuade them to go on television, I decided on BBC because I wanted coverage throughout the country. I didn't want just a region of television. I wanted coverage throughout the country. And the response we had to the sales after he went on television was tremendous. I can remember the work in progress was standing at more than £70,000, which was a lot of money to be tied up. And when he went for the first series, that £70,000 work in progress turned to be just over £100,000 profit. Wainwright saved a lot of jobs. AW asked me if I would be prepared to scatter his ashes when the time came. And I said, well, you know, if I'm still around here, I'll regard it as a privilege. But when the time came, for some reason, I wasn't asked to scatter his ashes. And I'd always regretted that. And it meant a great deal ever since I retired. I'd always wanted to visit that spot, to pay me respect. But we hadn't achieved this until Chris Butterfield came along. And after working with Chris for a few years, we became good friends. He came up with the idea of me visiting the Lake District to Innominate Tarn, to the point where AW's ashes were scattered, which is something I'd wanted to do ever since AW had died.
The first time we attempted it, it was a really wet day, and we got a mile into the journey, so we could actually see Haystacks before us.
As soon as we left Hollister Mine, the heavens opened. It started pouring rain. So we trudged on and we got to this little bothy, and we thought we'd take shelter, have a nice warm drink and take stock of the situation.
So we turned back. It was too dangerous to go any further, and I thought, well, it's never going to happen.
But I'd got to the stage where I knew I couldn't make it myself during my legs. It was that personal feeling that I ordered to AW to visit the spot his ashes were scattered, but I'd given up any hope of getting there.
"91-year-old Andrew Nichol, fulfilling a long and dearly held wish to visit the spot at Innominate Tarn, where his friend Alfred Wainwright's ashes were scattered more than 30 years ago.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I didn't think it was going to come about. When I retired, I hoped that somebody one day would come along and keep this name Wainwright alive. He's done just that.
This is Chris.
I'm delighted at what he's done.
This is Chris Butterfield, Wainwright archivist, and now great friend to you, Andrew.
I've known Andrew 7 years, worked closely with him for 7 years now. He's opened a lot of doors for me in discovering Wainwright. For many years, he always said he'd wish he'd gone to Innominate Tarn to pay his respects, and he'd never done that. And sometimes he'd been quite emotional about it. It was one thing I always wanted to do for him, to say thank you for everything he's done for me. I did consider contacting Cockermouth Mountain Rescue Team, but I felt it's something that they may not be able to do. They're there to rescue people, not to help people get up on the mountaintops. A few weeks later, I spoke to another former friend of Wainwright's, Sheila Richardson. She's an author, photographer, and she knew Wainwright very well. And she had a close friend, Derek Tunstall. He's been a member for many years of the Cockermouth Mountain Rescue Team, and he was absolutely delighted with the idea. I thought it was fantastic. He had a meeting with a team a couple of weeks later. Sheila came back to me and said they've all agreed to do it, and they've been absolutely delighted and just overjoyed to be able to help Andrew get up to Haystacks and pay his respects. So I was overjoyed, and thanks to the team, I'm forever in their debt.
Your chariot awaits.
Let's get on with it. Before I get any older.
We're just going to give you some help today to get up to the Tarn.
Right.
So we're going to start off by going in the Land Rover, and then from the Land Rover, then hopefully you can make it under your own steam. But if not, we've got the rest of the team here, and we'll do what we can to get you there. If you have to be carried, it'll be brilliant practice for these guys.
I've been carried before.
Have you?
Yeah. I was drunk in Tokyo.
Well, it'll be just like that. It'll be like a rickshaw ride.
What's brought you out this morning?
Well, me personally, it's because I met Wainwright and went for a walk with him in the 80s. It's not a normal role, but we really respect the history of it, and Wainwright is so connected with this area. I mean, obviously his ashes are very close to where we're going to go now, so we all feel a part of the history.
Yeah, we're here, we're at Dove's Hut. That's where we leave the vehicles, unfortunately. It's all on foot from now.
I mean, what a turnout from your team today.
Yeah, well, supporting this man to do what he wants to do. I mean, I met old Wainwright. Old Wainwright is older than me. I met him a couple of times, actually. He's a nice man, I found.
Andrew is managing well so far. Mario, what was it about this particular mission today that had you scrambling to sign up?
It's the same as it always is. It's the willingness to give back to your local community. So when something like this happens, and everything surrounding Wainwright is iconic, isn't it? So for us to be able to help out with that is a privilege.
Andrew's going to help us with a bit of a training exercise now. So we're going to get Andrew onto the stretcher. We've got some heat packs in here to keep him nice and comfortable because he's not going to be moving, he's going to quickly get cold. And then we're going to carry him for some of the way to the Tarn.
He's managed incredibly well so
fantastic.
far.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Moving really, really well. For a man his age.
He's so sure-footed, isn't he?
Yeah, really sure-footed and moving really quickly.
Would you like a glass of whiskey?
Whiskey? When the mountain rescue people there were 3 vehicles and a stretcher, I felt as though I was taking advantage of somebody's good nature, but it was too good an offer to refuse. I walked as much of the distance as my legs would allow me these days, but I had to be carried part of the way. My legs just wouldn't have taken me to Innominate Tarn.
Yeah. Is there a head pillow?
Yeah, it's just
Ready, brace, lift, and the platform, get wet feet.
How are you managing, Chris?
Overwhelmed with the turnout. This project originally started out with 8 members, then it went to 15, and now 18 overnight. It's just fantastic.
They're so impressive to watch, the way they work together, aren't they?
Yeah, they just really work together really well, and just how they're so meticulous in everything. And I'm really proud of Andrew, how far he came.
He's been amazing, Chris.
I didn't think in a million years he would get this far. He's been absolutely tremendous. I'm really proud of him.
And this takes us right to Blackbeck Tarn, just over there, of course. Then we've got the Perch Boulder up there. So all these features are in Wainwright's books, and I've got a full set and I've got the revised set, because what else do you buy a 70-year-old for a birthday? I do sit and read them, and I try to go to the top of mountains now, different ways. And the only way you can find the different ways is look at Wainwright's books.
We're almost there now. The final ascent, a few more steps.
And Andrew is making it under his own steam.
His own steam,
This
so
final stretch.
Yeah.
I insisted on walking the last few yards in case he was watching.
Do you know what? It's inspiring. It gives you just something to think about. Just to even think about doing it, just to even contemplate doing it at 91 is just amazing. He's just doing so well. It's fantastic.
Are you serious? Yeah. Cool. These people with poles, apparently. Nedic's got a plan. Come on, Jonesy.
So you're going to make an archway of pearls for him?
Well, yeah, to let him walk through. I think he deserves it.
Well done.
When I got to Innominate Tarn, I sat at the spot where his ashes were scattered. I felt he was there. I've no doubt he would have said, "What do you think of this spot?" And he would know that I would appreciate it. I knew exactly why he'd chosen that spot. It was peace itself. I felt as though there was just Wainwright and me there.
It's absolutely fantastic. I'm just bowled over. It's finally here, and I'm sort of wondering what would Alfred Wainwright be thinking now, seeing this. I think Wainwright lives on through Andrew, because there's very few people who knew Wainwright like Andrew does. It just really means the world to Andrew, and it does to me to see him there.
Thank you very much, Chris. I've waited a long time for it, but it's been worthwhile.
And you've made a lot of new friends today.
Wainwright would think I'm pinching his popularity. He would say, "What have you done to deserve this?"
He'd be chuffed to bits that you managed to get up there today.
But you've finally done it.
Yes, and thank you very much, everybody.